Well, the first attraction that we visited was Australia's favourite steam train, the Puffing Billy Railway. Located in the stunning Dandenong Ranges, this heritage railway travels through some of the most beautiful landscapes in Australia. The steam locomotives that power the train are the same ones that were used over 100 years ago. Run by over 900 volunteers, Puffing Billy is one of the largest volunteer-based tourism organisations in Victoria. As we pass the iconic Monbulk Creek Trestle Bridge, let me give you a little history behind the railway. Operated by the Victoria Railways, it was originally built in the early 1900s to transport timber from the forest to sawmills. In 1953, a landslide blocked the track. This, combined with continued economic losses, resulted in the line being closed in 1954. The railway was saved from closure by a group of dedicated volunteers who formed the Puffing Billy Preservation Society. It was reopened as a tourist attraction in 1962. We stopped at Lakeside Station, about an hour's ride from Belgrave. As the name suggests, it is a station by a lake. Home to the Lakeside Visitor Centre, one can grab a bite to eat and discover the history of the railway at the Lakeside Hall Museum, before taking a leisurely stroll around the gorgeous Emerald Lake Park. This beautiful park is home to a range of native flora and fauna, including Eurasian coots, Australasian swamp hens, as well as kookaburras, which sadly wasn't laughing. Visitors can also take a ride on the park's paddle boats, but the queue was so long that we did not bother with it. The Puffing Billy Railway is not just an ordinary train ride. It is a unique experience that takes visitors back in time. Not only does it offer breathtaking views, especially at golden hour, but you never know what wildlife you might encounter, making one of the best attractions in Melbourne. The following day, we headed to Melbourne Zoo. Established in 1862, it is one of the oldest zoos in the world. It began as a collection of animals in the Royal Botanic Gardens, but soon outgrew its original location and moved to its current site. Since then, Melbourne Zoo, which is home to over 320 species of animals, has been dedicated to the conservation and protection of endangered species, as well as educating the public about the importance of wildlife. Unfortunately, only a limited number of animals could be seen in certain enclosures, such as a lone kangaroo, 2 koalas which of course were asleep, as well as a single tiger. On the other hand, there were a number of pretty cool animals, including giant tortoises, wombats, as well as meerkats. Overall, Melbourne Zoo was decent, but nothing special, unlike Puffing Billy. That evening, I made a visit to St Kilda. Just a 30-minute tram ride from the city, St Kilda is home to the world-famous Luna Park, St Kilda Beach, as well as the Palais Theatre. I could rattle on about the rich history of these places, but there would be far too many things to talk about, so sit back and enjoy the view. The next day, we visited the Great Ocean Road, one of the most breathtaking coastal drives in the world. But first, a stop over at the Great Ocean Road Chocolaterie and Ice Creamery, which sells chocolates and ice cream, of course. While I did not try the ice cream, the chocolates were some of the finest I have ever tasted. The Great Ocean Road was constructed in the aftermath of the Great War, more widely known as World War I, as a memorial to over 60,000 Australian soldiers who lost their lives in the conflict. The road was built by hand by returning soldiers and opened to the public in 1932. Today, it is one of Australia's most popular tourist destinations, drawing millions of visitors each year. As we continued along the coast, it did not take much effort to figure out why such was the case. The 12 Apostles are a collection of limestone stacks off the shore of Port Campbell National Park. Ironically, the view from the observation deck by the 12 Apostles never included 12 stacks. Currently, 7 of the original 8 stacks remain visible from the 12 Apostles viewpoint, after one collapsed in 2005. Next, we headed to Lock Art Gorge, named after the clipper ship Lock Art, which ran aground on nearby Muttonbird Island. 52 people were lost from the Lock Art, leaving only 2 teenage survivors, fortunate enough to be washed into the only safe gorge on the coast. One of the most striking features of Lock Art Gorge is its incredible natural beauty and the sense of tranquility it inspires. Lastly, we headed to London Arch, formed from the gradual erosion of the surrounding limestone cliffs by the relentless pounding of the ocean waves over thousands of years. The arch was once connected to the mainland, forming a natural bridge. However, in 1990, one of the spans collapsed, leaving 2 separate rock formations, hence giving it its name. The next day, we took a cruise down the Yarra River. Stretching over 240 kilometers, the river is the focal point for a number of spectacular events, such as the Moomba Festival, as well as the rowing regatta named Head of the Yarra. A large number of bridges span the Yarra River, with notable ones including Boat Bridge, the longest bridge in Australia stretching 5 kilometers, Princes Bridge, which connects South Melbourne to the heart of the CBD, as well as Westgate Bridge. Along the river, one can find numerous sporting venues, such as Melbourne Cricket Ground, the world's largest cricket stadium with a capacity of over 100,000 people, Melbourne Park, home to the annual Australian Open, as well as Marvel Stadium, home to 5 AFL clubs. Without the Yarra River, Melbourne would not be what it is today. As the trip came to a close, I could not help but wonder what makes Melbourne special. Could it be the numerous laneways filled with art? Or could it be the freedom of speech that was on display every weekend? Could it also be the blend of contemporary and Victorian architecture? Trams? If we met under the clocks and figure things out, perhaps it is a mixture of all this and even more. But till then, to me, Melbourne will always be marvelous.